Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And today it's going to be some Roosevelt dimes from 1992. We can see we got two of them. It says Liberty in front of Roosevelt, In God We Trust under his chin. And then when you get right here, there's a P, and underneath that's a 1992. And then down there's a J and an S. The J and an S here right underneath Roosevelt's neck is for John Sinek. He was the engraver of these coins. And then the 1992 is the date. And the P is for the Philadelphia Mint, where in 1992 they made 593.5 million of these. This one behind it, of course, is from the Denver Mint. When we look at this one from the Denver Mint, we see it says Liberty in front of Roosevelt, and God we trust under his chin again. And D for Denver. And the Denver Mint, they made 616 million of these. So these are from the uncirculated mint sets, and you could probably tell that right up front, right? This is one from just a regular circulation. It doesn't have the same shine on it. These ones are somewhat polished in the sense that they were polished when they came out of the mint, but they're not polished in the sense that they stick up off the coin like a proof set would. This one came from the mint. It's uncirculated. This one here from the circulating Philadelphia one is all dinged up. And one of the things you'll find when you look on the back of these used dimes is that there are two sets of bands on here. And let's look at this. So there's a double band here and a double band here, and then at the bottom there's a little cup, almost like the holder for the torch down here, where you're almost like a bat handle. It turns out. On the left there is an olive branch, and there's a couple olives there. On the right there is an oak sprig, and there's an acorn right there. At the top of the coin it says United States of America, kind of surrounds it. Here across the middle, E pluribus unum. I know these are broke up, but it's just the E pluribus unum split by the oak. And then down here it says 1 dime, and as I said, it's a copper nickel, and it's also a rimmed coin. Well, when we look at this coin in comparison to this coin, we can kind of see what I'm talking about when I talk about the bands. At the top you see that the bands are fully split apart. Let me tip it right like that. And you can see a separation all the way across the bands here. The bottom set of bands, unfortunately, we don't see that kind of separation there. Let's turn this one off. And because we don't see that separation there, this will not be what they would call a full bands version. NGC and PCGS rate these coins, and the PCGS designation for full bands, if it's MS60 or better, has to have full separation between the bands, which this one does, the upper and lower, and this one does not have the full separation that we can see. And the coin must also show no significant cuts across the band, so you can't have a line that cuts all the way down through both bands. This one, there's no cuts that do that, but you just don't have the separation. So that's our Denver Mint coin. Let's look at the back of the Philadelphia Mint coin. And again, we see that we can get some good separation in the bands here. This is much more scratched up, even though it's a uncirculated coin. They just get scratched up at the mint. And then down here we see almost no separation in the band. So for these coins, these would not be the full bands version. And it turns out in 1992 there are plenty of these coins around that are in pretty good shape. So even though these might be as high as MS65, even in MS65 you're only talking about maybe $4, and these two probably not even that. They made 1.2 billion, remember, of these two, and there are plenty of coins in this shape. There's two other ways you can get this coin. One is in what's called a prestige set, which has an Olympic $50 in it. Those have a different gloss on them altogether. The other is in just a regular S set. So this one right here, there we go. Here's a 1992 and this is probably worth about $4. Let's look at the back of this one and see if the S for the San Francisco Mint has any better bands than the uncirculated coins do. And look at that. That is just, if you had this in a P or a D, you'd be in really great shape. And look at the separation here. It's my lighting is not the best, but you can really see a separation that goes almost, it pretty much goes all the way across there. So the separation goes all the way across, and that one. This one is really good where it separates all the way across. And so this is be pretty close to a full bands version because it's an S coin that changes the calculation completely, because this coin was specially made, specially polished, and put in a special set. So the full bands are not as expensive. In fact, this may only be worth $4 to $5, even in this shape that it's in. These coins were sold for $11. You can get this whole set for under 11, so that's kind of a weird thing. All right, well, that's all we have today from the DC coin world for the Roosevelt dimes. Have a great day, and leave any comments you might have in the comments section.